Hello, how is everyone doing? It is your fallen angel back with another video. Today, we are covering the concept of cunning. So we went over high IQ, we went over realism, and now we're going over cunning. This is the top three when it comes to the types of intelligences within this playlist. So feel free to check out the other videos, the other two, if you haven't already, just to get a preface on what this is. Doesn't matter if you don't, they all coincide. So if you watch this first or the next two next, it doesn't matter. As long as you get all three in, you will understand. So let's begin. Cunning is often euphemistically referred to as people skills or social skills. Within this publication, it will sometimes be referred to as Machiavellianism or Machiavellian intelligence. Now, Machiavellian intelligence or cunning is your art to persuade people, whether this be with your looks, whether this be with your tonality, whether this be with kind words. In the previous video, we explained how realism and many autistics or many psychopaths or many geniuses, they're not looking to cater to feelings, right? They're not looking to be kind in how they say things, or they're not looking to scratch or stroke an ego. Cunning and Machiavellianism, this is looking to scratch an ego or to, kiss up to get what you desire. And we'll explain this in more detail now. To be high cunning is to have the ability to charm people, make them like and trust you, persuade people, lie convincingly, read body language and vocal tonality accurately, and analyze social situations accurately. Now, women learn this at a very young age, maybe at very young age. They learn this at a young age because as a woman, they don't have the mental strength as a man does or the physical strength as a man does, but they definitely have cunning and they could read social cues much higher than men can, right? They learn this at a young age. They learn to make people like them. They learn what makes people tick. They learn a lot about body language, social language. They learn a lot of how people interact with each other, and they use this as a tool for later. You got to understand they use all sorts of things as tools for later. Even the slightest thing can be used as a tool or a power tool for later, right? It's essential that we teach and learn this because you will learn this for you as a man. To be low cunning is to be bad at charming people or socially awkward, inept in matters of persuasion, capable of lying convincingly, and incapable of reading body language or vocal tonality accurately. So we explained the theory on how women use cunning to their advantage. Men use cunning as well, but it's a very small percentile of them, because I want to say about 70% of men don't know cunning. They don't know cunning, and they don't understand what cunning is, because many businessmen know cunning, many real estate agents know cunning, many people that work in the business side of things, they know cunning because it's necessary for adaptation and necessary for their survival in the field. Cunning is necessary, right? It's necessary in many things to get what you want, to learn more about an individual, and to have a set of power over them. This is ultimately what cunning is. Cunning is about having a power over someone subconsciously, because when you're cunning, you want to do this in a very intrinsic way. This is why when girls, they compliment each other, they usually say very positive things like, you look very good today. Maybe it's true they do look good today, but it's because it's a slight cunning. When men joke with each other, it's usually in a, hey bro, you look like shit. It's a joking way, but we both know as men that it's a joke, and we could see that it's not a cunning way. It's a joking matter, and we're not trying to lie or give ugly lies to portray this sort of ego or portray this sort of this facade that they put out. This is a facade that many women will put out because of the cunning strategy. Cunning is distinct from IQ, and the correlation between them seems to be zero. There are many men with sky-high IQs who are hopelessly socially awkward. They don't lack intelligence, they lack cunning. So back to the social butterfly ideology. Men can be extremely intelligent. They can be bookworms. They can be the biggest IT nerd. They can love computers, they can love things, but when it comes to being socially adept, this is also a part of intelligence, right? And women learn this at a very, very, very young age. They learn how to talk to other people. They learn how people are thinking. They learn body language. They learn They could feel if you dislike them. They can feel if you like them. They feel these things because they've been learning at a young age. They learn cunning at a young age. But we have to understand, a woman's level of cunning is only so far. They can't get past a psychopathic level. A psychopathic level of cunning is only something a man can do. Most of psychopathic assaults or murders are done by men. About 96% of them are done by men. A woman cannot attack someone they don't know, right? But a man can definitely attack someone he doesn't know because of the cunning and psychopathy. So it's essential to understand that there's definitely levels to this. Like Meek Mill said, there's levels to the shit. But the truth is, women intrinsically know cunning because it's a tool for them. Whether this be a tool to get over another woman, whether this be a tool to get over a man, they have to use this because they may not be physically strong, but emotionally strong, yes they are. This is the limbic system reinforcing ego and emotion, the higher F of which is known as feelings. The average woman is more cunning than the average man, yet at the same time, cunning seems to have a far greater variance amongst the men than the woman. Amongst the most cunning people on the planet, think Putin, Robert Greene and Vladimir Putin, almost all of them are men. The least cunning people are autists, who are mostly men. So like we explained in our previous video of realism, many psychopathic or geniuses or autistic men themselves, they aren't looking for emotional intelligence. They don't care about feelings or how things are perceived. But people that are cunning, women and men too, they're thinking of how everything is perceived. You have to think of how everything is perceived, right? I'm going to give you an example. When women go dressed up, makeuped up, and they go to a bar, this is a form of cunning. They want to see how many drinks they can get for free just off using their looks alone. This is a slight edge of cunning. Now, when you ask them straight up, they'll be like, no, I just did this for myself. But no. In order to get those tequila shots, they had to look somewhat good to get this, right? To get this attention, right? Women in general, they crave being liked. This is why they are good social butterflies, because they crave deep down to be liked by everyone. And when you're the one outlier who doesn't like them, they will chase you relentlessly until they get your attention, right? Or till they get your validation. This is why they have a high variance. If men are on the high cunning scale, they're not looking to be validated. They're looking for power. This is the difference, right? When Robert Greene made Power, 48 Laws of Power, it was about power. And when Vladimir Putin is in this position, it's all about power, right? So what we have to understand is there's a difference and there's a variability in cunning. There's also a variability in realism and a variability in IQ. All these three are variability, but we understand that to be at the pinnacle of any opportunity, any financial debate, any pinnacle of whatever job or occupation that you're in, it's essential to understand Dark Triad, because women are using Dark Triad against you, men are using Dark Triad against you, and some people are subconsciously using power, push, power, pulls, because in this cosmos, quote by Von Cut, everything is in exchange for power and pleasure, right? We have to truly understand that humans are operating at this always. They're looking for either power or pleasure, everything. Especially when we live in an instant gratification type of society. It's essential that you as a man understand that it's a push or pull for power. So it's essential you learn cunning, you learn narcissism, you learn Machiavellianism, you learn psychopathy, you learn all these things that can help you push you to the next level, right? So you don't get tricked, you don't get abused, and you don't get pulled by power, right? This is why it's important to learn to be socially adept, right? To read the room. You have to read how people are using each other and how these people are doing these things for more power for themselves. You have to be able to read body language. You have to use tonality correctly, right? When you really want something, it's essential that you use good tonality, right? But if you truly, truly want something, it's especially important that you use good tonality, but with a cold, detached demeanor with it. Because if you're outcome hungry, you won't get what you want, right? If someone knows that you really, really want something, they're going to do their best to make sure you don't get it. But if you're cold and detached about how the outcome goes, you will more than 98% get what you desire. So it's especially important, guys, that we learn cunning and how people use charm to get what they desire. Build rapport to make them like and trust you. persuade them, and lie convincingly, right? This happens many times in society, and people are blinded to it because they don't understand cunning to a good degree. So this was an educational video explaining cunning. This is one of the 3 types of intelligences that we went over on this playlist. Feel free to leave a comment down below, like, and subscribe. Also check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. This has been your Fallen Angel, and I am out.